Evening, everyone. It's Frank here with everything Liverpool. It's a happy day, isn't it? Or a happy evening, no matter how you look at it. I've got great guests on. I really have. I've got George Scott on, the old Shankly boy, got him on. Tommy Batty, got him on. And why I'm wearing this is because through Tommy Batty. And what has happened was, his daughter said, "You're on the telly, aren't you, Dad?" And he said, "Yes." She said, "Show me." Anyway, she said, and I had that thing on, what goes around here. And as Stephen Snape says, he said, "You look like a buster yourself." Because, with the blackness here. So anyway, she said, "What's wrong with Frank? He's lost loads of weight. He's got no shoulders." That's why I'm wearing this. So at least I can see shoulders. And I'm going to bring my lovely guests on now. And there's Mario.
Hello, once again.
You're okay?
How are you?
I'm good. And I'm
good too.
Yeah. I'm bringing Sonny.
Hello, Mario.
Hello, Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
Hello, mate.
Oh, Mr. George.
Hello, George.
Hi, Mario. Hi, Tommy.
At last.
Hi, Frank.
Nice George, you're okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've got? Do you know what I've got, Mario?
Sorry? Oh my God, that's good. Thank you. That's great. I will snap a screenshot when the chat ends.
Yeah. That's what
Great book.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No, what it is, a lovely lady sent me. She tuned in to the show, and she said, I was talking about your book, and Tommy showed his book, that is, and anyway, she said, "I've got to get you one of them." And we were talking to you, Marius, and you showed it up as well, and she bought me one. Isn't that lovely?
Oh my God, that's great! Thank you so much. It looks nice. Thank you. On your hands, looks nice.
But anyway, okay, lads. Okay, how are you, George?
I'm great, thanks, Frank. I'm really after that game the other day. It was unbelievable, fantastic result for the boys. Unbelievable. Yeah. Back where we should be, where we should always be. Yeah. Wonderful football, passing it round, breaking through, scoring lovely goals. I know Leeds weren't up to much, but by God, we didn't have to give them a good willing.
We did. Well, funny enough, we'll talk about this, me and Tommy, later on, because it was funny. We were speaking at half time, weren't we, Tommy? Tommy sent me a text at half funny. It was just, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So anyway, Marius, how are you?
Yeah, all smiles today. We felt like last season. Yeah, it was a great performance, of course. Last night was a step in the right direction, of course. It feels that way. But the aim, the goal now is to find the consistency. I think this one we missed a lot this season. We have talked many times about the glimpses of great Liverpool of the past, like in the match against United, against City, at home, in the first minutes against Bournemouth, of course, the first minutes against Real Madrid, yes, but we lacked consistency, and I think we still had the time to find the consistency we are missing, and let's see what happens in the remainder of the season. Who knows? It's a very tricky season, and we are not the only inconsistent team in the league. You can see Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, and Newcastle United last weeks. So let's give it a try, and who knows what happens at the end of the day.
I'll ask you. I'm going to say how Tommy is anyway first, and the question I'm going to ask is, because of the inconsistencies anyway, even with Manchester City, by the way, even with Manchester City, they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
And there's only one team who doesn't seem to be inconsistent, but it seems to be catching up on them, and that's Arsenal. So my question is this. Do you think because of having a World Cup in the middle of a season, that's threw everything out of sync? And I'm going to ask Tommy how he is. How are you, Tom?
All right, Frank. All right, mate. But I mean, the World Cup. I mean, I thought it was crazy anyway. I thought it was mental having it in mid-season.
Yeah.
And Qatar. But I mean, no, you can't blame the World Cup for some of it, but some of it has just been bad play, mate. Some bad plays. But last night, when you see them four coming off the bench, Firmino, Nunes, Diaz, you know what I mean? That's our bench.
Yeah.
And I think that's half the problem we've had, that we haven't had them
Absolutely.
in the side.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll go on. I'm sure we'll go on now. And I'm not saying we'll get 4, but we'll give it a good go because you never doubt us.
Okay. All right. I've got to say this. Sorry, Tommy. The text. What did you? You sent me a text through the match, and it was about Jota the Slotter.
Well, let's face it, Frank. Anyone who watched the game last night, for the first half an hour, he was abysmal. Then all of a sudden,
get him off the next.
Well, the first half an hour, how many balls did he give away? And he wasn't even in the game, really. But I mean, me and McCarter, it's a good job we're not the manager, put it that way.
I thought it was so funny, though. Yeah, it was so funny. Then we had a chat at half time, and it was so funny. I just want to read out these comments. Stephen Slave says, "Evening, awesome 4." How about that? The awesome 4. Brian Headley says, "All right, lads, how's everyone keeping? George, please don't mention Pele. You broke my ribs with that one."
Tell him I've got another one later on.
Stephen says, "What with being unlucky not to beat Arsenal and demolishing Leeds, could we play our way back into form? I still think top 4's gone and we need others to drop points to help us, okay?" And Brian carries on by saying, "Lads, I thought Jota was absolutely atrocious in the first half. Shocking." And Charlie Wood says, "The bench has been filled with kids this season." And he's so right. So do you think, especially with Luis Diaz coming on, and Nunes, coming on, and Nunes scoring. So we've got that now to exploit till the end of the season. This is what we have to do. We've got to exploit our bench.
That's if you don't get injured.
Yeah, this is the problem. And again, as Marios says, and I'm going straight to Marios now, it's what you said about the inconsistencies, Marios.
Yeah.
And we've got to keep these inconsistencies in the back of our minds, or the back of the team's minds, and just carry on where we left up against Arsenal and last night.
Yeah, look, it's the first time this season that we have all the players available, and that's really, really helpful because you can find so many different solutions during a game, whatever happens in the game. If the game doesn't go well, you can look at the bench and see Luis Diaz, see Darwin or Jota or everyone. So I think that will help. It will help, of course, our team to find more solutions in games. I think that it's really interesting to see how Trent will look at the coming weeks in his new role. It's really, really interesting. The first what we witnessed last night and the second half against Arsenal, it was absolutely magnificent. That was Trent. That is Trent Alexander-Arnold as we won him and as we knew him, and it's something different that gives us a lot more ways to attack, a lot more ways to defend also. And I think that if that keeps up working, we can find the consistency we are looking for. Because, consistency comes up with the confidence, and it was the first time that I saw a confident Liverpool, except the 7-0 victory against United. But
I think that's what you hit the nail on the head there about confidence, because Jota, as we all mentioned, even Brian Early, when he says, lads, I thought Jota was absolutely atrocious in the first half, shocking. Batty, myself, I think everybody, even you two lads, must have thought he's awful, this fella. Yet when he scored, spring in a step. A spring. What do you think, George?
I think you want to look at the positive, really look at the positives from last night. Two things struck me. One, what Marius just said about Trent moving forward into that midfield role, playing further forward, playing killer balls, which he does all the time. And the other one was, I thought Curtis Jones played pretty well, to be honest. He's had a lot of stick this season, and he gave a couple of lovely passes. And Thiago came back in quite late on. So you've got quality players like Thiago and Trent there. And as you said earlier, the likes of Diaz, the likes of Nunes, Salah, you've got a really good, strong squad coming together again now. Most of the season we've played with young kids in midfield, a combination of young kids and a couple of older lads. But now, hopefully, with the strength we've got up front, and Andy Robertson, he also, I thought, played quite well. He came forward for one of those goals. Brilliant. And that was Liverpool at their best, really, which I just love to see. And, I think we'll start moving back in the right direction, Frank, now, I think, to be honest.
I'm glad you mentioned Curtis Jones, George. I'm glad you mentioned Curtis Jones, because I thought he had a great game. And I know we've given some stick over the weeks, but that's nice. But see, because the team played well, I think when the team plays bad, they all look bad. Yeah. But last night we all played well. And Curtis, he put in a good shift last night. And another thing I'd say, and it's just my opinion, if Bobby Firmino's fit, I'd play him from the start.
Yeah.
Instead of Jota.
Yeah, he's still got all the quality, hasn't he? He moves and turns and creates chances. Yeah. It's a shame he's leaving, really.
Yeah, this is the problem that Liverpool had. I don't care what anyone says. We had Gini Wijnaldum, and we allowed his contract to run down, and we missed him. We missed Gini because he was one of the only fit midfielders. He hardly got injured. Anyway, that's by the by now. So they let his contract run down. We did the same, more or less, with Sadio Mane. Now, Sadio Mane, on the first day, the very first day, when he was in Munich, he was being interviewed, and he came out and he actually said, I miss Liverpool. He said it on the first day. And I miss it. And it's been proved. So you've got to look into that. You've got to really look into what was said by Mane. You really have. I'm not just saying that. Because it's so easy to criticise Mane, because he went. You've got to look at another alternative why he went. Yeah. And why he said that on the very first interview in Munich. I miss Liverpool. And what did he say now, recently? Just now, last week, I miss Liverpool. I miss my teammates.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to look at the other alternatives.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. This is a good one here. It's got Caleb, Charlie Wood. The bench is filled with kids this season, right? And this is Brian Edley. He's using his granddaughter's little Facebook thing or whatever. And he says, still can't believe. What about this, lads?
Yeah.
Still can't believe Cavallo didn't get a run out. What do you think of that?
I think he's had a falling out with Jurgen Klopp. He must have done, because he doesn't get a look at. So it looks like he'll be going in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Klopp's seeing something he doesn't quite 100% like.
Right.
The boy's got talent, I think, hasn't he? But I mean, doesn't seem to have got the chance. Harvey Elliott's had more games, I think, than him.
Yeah.
Yes, he certainly has. And I like Cavallo. I really like him.
Yeah.
But as Tommy says, as he fell out, as Klopp fallen out with the lad, he's only a kid.
Yeah.
Well, I think he should have been given more games. I really do.
Definitely. Yeah.
And when I keep saying this, when I seen one game, Tommy and I was watching, and he brought Milner on, and you just see Cavallo looking like that, and this is in the last 10 minutes, and there was nothing really to play for in that last 10 minutes. And yet he brought Milner on instead of giving this young lad, a few minutes. Remember that song?
Yeah. I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want another manager in charge of our team. But Jurgen has his reasons. But I'm just surmising like we all do. Yeah. He must have had a falling out with Cavallo, because he's a good player. And he's young. Yeah. And like we've said in the past, Frank, and there's no way I'm slating Milner. I'm not. But you don't set a 38-year-old guy on. No. And you've got a good young kid sitting next to him.
Raring to go, yeah.
I never get that. I can't even get it in my head that he does that.
Yeah. He could have brought him on for the last 15 minutes, Cavallo, give him a chance.
Yeah,
sure.
Especially when we were playing like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he would have loved it.
Yeah.
Of course. And I think the way Liverpool play last two games with that Trent Alexander role, it helps a lot players like Curtis playing with more freedom.
Yeah.
And they flourish, and I think that would work really well for Fabio to flourish also, but no chance to Carvalho.
Only Jürgen knows.
He's still young, isn't he? He's still young. He might come through.
Hopefully.
How many times have we actually said about about Trent playing in midfield rather than at right back? How many times have we said that?
Yeah.
And yet it looks like Jürgen's only, found out about it, because the statistics last night about Trent was astonishing. Really was astonishing.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's right. So,
but the thing is, Frank, with Trent, you watch him against Arsenal. I watched him last night. He just doesn't play in the middle. He plays everywhere.
Everywhere. He's all
everywhere.
All over the place.
He's involved in the game all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
There was one spot where he was almost on the left wing, and he came running back to right back again. He came running back right across the pitch. And that was lovely to see, the pressing was amazing. The way I was one period in the game on about 5 or 6 Liverpool players fighting around one Leeds guy to get the ball at the end of the game.
And that's when it was 6-1. That's when it was 6-1, and we're still fighting for the ball.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Klopp said, wasn't it? That's what I'd love to see.
That's what we used to see.
Hang on, Frank. Alexa's on. Hang on. Hang on. Alexa, off. Off. I think she's had a drink. I think she's been on the beer.
Sneaking in. Oh, this is it. Well, anyway, Showboy Francis, I think Diaz is going to take a bit of time after that injury. Maybe next season back to his best. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought he was protecting himself there. He wasn't getting too involved. He was just taking it easy, pushing the ball around.
Okay.
Before he was injured, he was really dynamic. He'll be back to that again, I'm sure. It'll take time.
Yeah. Obviously, he's not going to come. He brought him on to give him a run out. Don't do too much. Just have a run round, get hold of the ball, pass it. I know. And obviously, if he touch wood, if he stays fit for the last 8 games, maybe you might see a little bit of a spark in the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I got a snidey message there, you know. Someone sent me a snidey. Do you know what they said?
Snidey.
You have to explain that one to Marios.
Have you got your Liberace? Have you got your Liberace wig on?
You better explain to Marios what snidey means.
What snidey means?
Means you know, sly face.
Underhand.
Sly, yeah. You know, a little sly little jigger, Frank said. Have you got your Liberace wig on? Oh, great, isn't it? Anyway, Brian says, Trent was awesome, been brilliant the last 2 matches, so glad for him. And I'm going to come back to this, to play with that extra bit of pressure of him. Okay, remember last week against Arsenal, when he had that little altercation with the Zaka, whatever his name is. Yeah, him, and as well. Anyway, when he had that, and he went like that, I've never seen him do this.
Yeah.
He went like that to the crowd. And I think that gave him then the impetus to go on, even to last night's game, and to put his authority on a game. What do you reckon?
I agree with
you.
I agree with you on that.
I think with Trent, and you might, he's a scouser, right, through and through. And we haven't had many in the team over the last few years, but he is. And he's got a scouser's mentality. When something knocks him, that's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And as Gary Neville said last week, and Gary Neville made me howl, he said they should kick Trent a bit more.
He got the crowd going, didn't it?
Oh, he certainly did, yeah.
Everyone going, got the plays.
Yeah.
It got the plays. And, you know, it was just a way. Good evening from Athens, lads. Says Poretsis. Have I pronounced that right? Poretsis.
Yeah, Poretsis, yes. Petros Poretsis, yes.
Yeah.
Journalist in Greece. Hello, Petros. Yes, Petro. Ελληνικά, Greek.
Hello, Petros.
Petros.
Yeah, we can all speak Greek now. I did a thing today, and I was out, and I was telling them about a Liverpool fair, in fact, a Wales fest, and it was a public cemetery, and I said they called it the Necropolis.
Wow.
Because we've got a hell of a lot of Greek names here in Liverpool. You know, like Adelphi, for example. You know, brothers. You got that one. Yes. And it's I talk about all this, you know. And anyway, they were looking at me and they said, "Can you speak Greek?" And I went, "No." He said, "Well, you're pronouncing that as though, you know, you're Greek." He said, "Are you Greek?" And I went, "No."
I'll tell you this: since I've met Marios, I haven't got a plate left in the house. Every time the music comes on, I smack them up.
Well, the lady who sent me this said, I only got it because of the good looks of Marriott.
I was
All way out. All way out.
So you've got a big fan out there. You've got a massive fan out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a good one off Brian, actually. Oh, yeah, let's see. Let's see this lad here. Kaki, 1956. Good evening, fellow Reds, from Paul Keenan.
Hi, Paul.
I know Paul's an entertainer.
An Irish name.
Paul Keenan's an entertainer. He's a singer. And believe it or not, when Frank Highfield, his voice was gone, he couldn't get to the high voices. Well, Paul took over on a show.
Wow.
He used to just come on with and he was talking to me one day. He said, would you like to speak to Frank Highfield? I was speaking to Frank Highfield. All right, Frank. I remember
Frank Highfield. Frank Highfield was my favourite singer when I was a kid.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Because he could yodel. And he married a Scouser.
Yeah, he did. He did. That's why he comes over. But he was in Australia when I was talking to him. Anyway, we get back to our footy, eh? And Brian says, yes, Tommy, Firmino still better than Jota.
Yeah, in my opinion.
And there's another good one here, because we have mentioned this. Sadio, come back, please, says Petros.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned this last week, Frank, didn't we? And I asked all of us, would we have him back? And I think 3 out of 4 said no.
Yeah, it's difficult to come back, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. We did miss
him. You get him at a knockdown price, George. If you could get him at a knockdown price.
Yeah, I think yeah, exactly. You can get him for a real knockdown price. I mean, it'd be a good.
Because he's more or less been sacked, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's had it over there. He's finished over there now.
He obviously regrets moving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, most players do, George. You know yourself. Suarez. When they go away from Liverpool, they just go down.
There's very few that have succeeded that have left Liverpool that I can think of, really. I can't think of too many, if any, that's done better away.
Yeah, Marios, read that out. Can you read that out?
This message, perhaps Curtis is another one who needs to play in a confident team.
Of course.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yes, and you saw another player when we scored the first one, when we opened the score, and you saw a team more confident, more energetic, more intense, and then Curtis felt like, wow, I can play now, more free. And he ran more, he pressed more, he passed the balls in a clever way, and he contributed to the game more. And then he got one of the greatest passes of the season, I think. Wow, what an assist. Wow.
Brilliant. He just seen it, didn't he? And he just threaded it through. Yeah. And, all right, it was Leeds, but any defence in that Premiership, that was a split defence.
It was the only way to reach the back of the defence and to the striker.
He created the first goal against Arsenal with that back heel as well.
Yeah.
And the back heel to Henderson to Salah and in the net. So he's not frightened to try things. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, but you see, when we play like that and we play with that confidence, it goes through the whole team.
Yeah.
Not just 1 or 2 players. The whole team get it. And it's brilliant to watch. And it's, I mean, how many times we said it? It's about time. That, that's the Liverpool way.
Yeah.
The passing sideways, backwards. Let's get it quick.
I'll leave you to this, right? Okay. I'm only putting the kettle on, you see. I'll leave you with this. The thing is, the confidence, even between Tommy and I, I'm being honest here. And what about you, George? And what about you, Marios? And the rest of the people on the chat here. When Konate, messed up, Big Ebu messed up, and they just ran on and scored 2 minutes into the second half. How did you feel, George? How did you feel at that moment when that ball went in? And just discuss it between yourselves. I'll have to put the kettle on.
I was shouting at the screen. I have to be honest. I was really almost lost it. I thought, what is he doing? What's he doing? We've got 2-0 lead. Is this all going to happen again? Are we going to throw away a lead? Are they going to come back with the crowd behind them? And the crowd were then up for that then. And it was fortunate in a way we got the goal quick just after that. Because I think that could have been a real disaster. Every player can make mistakes. I mean, I made mistakes when I play. Everybody makes mistakes. You don't try to make mistakes. But it's so competitive now. You can't afford to make mistakes like that at the highest level.
If you're winning 2-0, it's a hard score.
Yeah.
But they've only got to score that one. And they're right back at it. But I've got to give Konate his due. His head didn't go down.
He redeemed himself.
I thought he had a great game.
Yeah, exactly.
After that, he put in.
Yeah.
He's the reason why Trent could play in that role at the midfield, because he could cover with his pace, with his dynamism. When Trent was at the midfield, Konate was wide to stand by in case of counterattack. So
because he played like with 3 at the back, which I liked.
Yeah.
He played with like 3 at the back.
Kind of.
And then Trent will drop back, as George just said.
Yeah.
You see him running across the pitch to get back there. And then when the ball comes out, he's back here.
And it gives Robertson the chance and Trent the chance to go forward. Because when we were sweeping the board 2 years ago, when we were winning everything, that's what they were doing. The two guys, they were playing like wingers, crossing the ball. I mean, that's not happened this year, really. Trent's been struggling at the back and getting exposed a bit because the people around him have not been helping him. Van Dijk's not been as good as he was, but now he's coming back a bit, and Konate is helping him. So that I think we've got a really strong chance to come back.
I totally agree with you, George. But you know what you're saying about Robbo and Trent going down the wings like two wingers, like Ian Callaghan and Peter Thompson years ago.
Is it? Yeah.
But the thing is, don't you think other teams, they got our weight? They knew how we played.
Yeah.
And they adapted to counteract that.
Yeah, and a lot of the times
we couldn't counteract. We never had a plan B.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How many times have we been this season at Anfield been pressing hard, and then the other team breaks and a fast forward sneaks a goal.
Yeah.
And then people in the win 2-1 against the odds. But that wasn't happening. I don't think that'll happen now. We've got a much tighter situation at the back. And Trent
I'm loving it.
Brilliant.
I'm loving the way we're playing, mate. I'm loving it.
I mean, that lad, when you think he's won everything in the game and he's only about 23, he's won every trophy there is. He played for England. I mean, and to think the stick he's had from the press, he's been left out of the England team, and it's really bad. I think he's proven him wrong at the moment. That's what
maybe it's bad. Maybe it's bad in that way, George. But I think it's good for Trent.
Well, yeah, because he's got his dander up, hasn't he?
He's improved his game, and he's not a one-trick pony. No, he's not. He's never going to be the greatest defender in the world.
No.
But you get a better passer of the ball than him on that pitch. There isn't one.
Well, I think Jamie Carragher said he thinks there's only Kevin De Bruyne in the game at the moment, anywhere in the world, that is as good with the passing that he is.
Yeah.
And he's just amazing. Freak, that right peg is a bit like a magic wand.
Yeah, and Jamie Carragher also said that this way of playing from Trent does not only helps the offensive part of the team, but the defensive also.
Yeah.
We defend a lot better that way. Many people would say that it was a match against Leeds, but last week was once against the title contenders, the team at the top of the league.
Yeah, they should have beat them at the end.
Oh, you can see
And
Trent.
we deserved to win.
You can see Trent, and
He's
he looks
frozen
like
calm.
he's got his mojo back. He's enjoying his game now. Arsenal and last night, he's enjoying it because I think Jürgen said, "Just go where the ball is. You go where the ball is," and he's playing every blade of grass. And
Yeah,
as
back.
you said, George, he still goes back, but he loves. He's everywhere, and I love that. Love it.
Yeah. You could see moments that he was at the left side of Fabinho.
Yeah,
It was crazy. It was everywhere. Everywhere.
yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
I'm glad we've got him.
I'm going to go to a few comments here. Agrees on Mason Mount, whatever you were talking about. I honestly believe English players are overpriced.
We haven't been talking about Mason Mount.
Oh, right, okay. Well, someone else then, must be anyway. I haven't seen much of this lad from Bayern, Gravenbach or something. Gravenbach or something.
I've never seen him play.
Is he any good? That's the question. Is he any good?
Well, he's not in the Bayern team at the moment, is he? He's not in the side.
I don't have.
No,
I don't know the lad. I've never seen him.
I know he came from. I didn't even know. Someone said to me, "Well, why don't you know this lad?" I said, "Because I don't follow Ajax, I don't follow Bayern Munich, and I don't follow Holland." I said, "So how am I supposed to know this particular player?"
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So
his name has been mentioned quite a bit in the press recently. But I've not seen him.
One fella said he's crack of this, in one of these comments, not these comments on here. He said he's an ordinary player, but Jürgen can make him world class. So,
I was just going to say, if anybody knows him, it'll be Jürgen Klopp.
But do you think he does?
Well, remember we got Arthur. What happened to him?
That's what I mean. So,
dear me.
You've got to be careful, haven't you? You've got to be careful.
You've got to be very, very careful. And I remember, do you know when we got to the against Real Madrid? Not the last one we went to Kiev.
Yeah.
And that Karius. And I always remember. Now it was Jürgen's boy. It was Jürgen's boy. Yeah. And he said he's the second best goalkeeper in Germany. So I'm a bit wary when he says tough things like that. So.
Well, I look at this. I mean, most Germans, and especially defensive Germans, midfield, are all pretty good players. The German, that's what they're bred for. But you look in the English Premiership, and that's where I would look. Because they're proven. German players haven't played in the Premiership, which is an entirely different league to what they're playing in.
Yeah.
Well, look at the players that Brighton have got at the moment.
Right.
Where have they come from? Some of these players at Brighton. I mean, they look a magnificent side. They've got young players. Ferguson, is it? And Japanese left winger. They've come. I don't know where they came.
Wolves, Bob, Brentford, even.
Yeah,
they've all got talented players in the positions we want.
So they must be there. Must be there.
Yeah, and they're proven, George. They're proven in the Premiership. That's what I like.
What's that? Nunez from Wolves. He looks a good player.
Yeah. Well, Frank spoke about it.
I'm sure Klopp's got his eyes on quite a few anyway in the summer.
Yeah.
He must have.
I've got to bring this fella in. I've just seen him here. I've got to bring him in. But I want to just read this, and I want the panel to talk about this. And it's what Petros says. Do you think that Jürgen starts building a new mentality for next year through confidence and new style? Okay. Now, hold on to that, because I want to bring, we know this is an old friend of mine, and you know him as well, Tommy. I keep showing and hiding it. And it's Frank Lawton. He says Bellingham, 27 games for Dortmund this season. He has got 4 goals and 4 assists. Not exactly world-class form, is it?
I don't think
That's
Francis is a
interesting.
fan of Bellingham, is he?
No, he's very pragmatic. Let's be honest, because if something that's wrong, especially like 125 million for him, for Bellingham, you've got to look at it and say, well, hang on a minute. And I think he sums up everything. Bellingham, 27 games for Dortmund this season, 4 goals and 4 assists. And as he says, he's not exactly world class.
Yeah,
and he's only 19, don't forget. He's only 19. And the thing is a 19-year-old where? I don't know. I just don't know.
Not really a goal scorer, is he?
So what do you think? All right, let's discuss this. I think this is a very good one from Petros. Yeah. Do you think that Jürgen starts building a new mentality for next year through confidence and new style? I'm going straight to George on this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's not so much a new confidence, it's getting the confidence back that we had before. I mean, we couldn't have been much better than we've been in the last 2 or 3 years. We need to get back to that situation. That's what Klopp wants, demands, and I'm sure he'll get, We just got to make sure that we let some players go that are not really going to make it, bring the players back in that we're doing now, the big players, and get 1 or 2 of the youngsters coming through. He'll obviously make a few signings as well to bed in as well. But going back to when I was playing, I remember when Shankly changed the team. You'll remember this, Frank, in 1970, when they had Ian St. John and Roger Hunt and all those boys in Cali. And they were
I remember that too, John.
And then we went into 1970. They lost to Watford. It was not going well. And Shankly changed the whole thing. He brought Keegan in, he brought Toshak in, he brought other players in, and the team had a renaissance. And I think Liverpool are not in that position at the moment. I think they've got the players, they've got the team. And I think from the start of next season, we'll see us right back to where we should be.
But maybe a little bit. Don't you think Jürgen Klopp's too low sometimes, George?
Probably, yeah. There is a danger in that, isn't there? Shankly was like that as well. I mean, because you get to love the players and the players that perform for you, like the Milners and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
There comes a time in every player's career you have to let go, and you have to let them go in the best possible way, and I think that's coming up for a few of the lads, probably.
Well, that's a good point, that, George, because I give the likes of the Saint and Roger Hunt and the likes of Big Ronnie Yates, all these wonderful players, these big players, Tommy Smith, Chris Lawler, Callahan, everybody, they've all moved on. They had to move on. We had to bring other players in. So why can't we just say to a 38-year-old, because today's game is fast. It's so fast. And, we've got a 38-year-old. But I was told again that, some comment, but he's the fittest lad, and it's the fittest. I said, he isn't the fittest. He's one of the slowest, believe it or not.
Well, I think what they need to do with James Milner, I think he's been an amazing player over the years, fantastic athlete. They need to get him on the coaching staff and use his experience and use his skill with the younger lads.
So what would you do with Henderson? He's the captain. What would you do with him?
But again, at the moment, he's not particularly playing too bad at the moment. I mean, I think he's probably coming to the end, though, in the next year or two. But that's a difficult one, that. I mean, because he's been captain, he's been
a successful captain too. He's been a successful captain.
I think he's been, but he's been a very lucky captain as well. Can anybody ever remember a game? I forget who it was against, and we were struggling. And Mario Balotelli was, forward, big bad Mario. And we got a penalty, and there's Jordan Henderson holding the ball like that, and Mario just went over and took it off him. And put it down on the penalty spot. And you see, as you're looking at it, you actually see, what's his name? Anyway, effing and blinds and saying, take it off him.
Yeah.
Take the ball off him.
Yeah.
You're the captain. You know, you can see.
Can you imagine them doing that to Graham Souness?
Graham Souness or Tommy Smith, yeah. Big Ronnie. No chance. Change days.
Well, you know, that's the way it is, isn't it? That's the way it is.
But the thing is with Jordan, right? He's probably been one of the most successful captains we've had. And he's had a great career at Liverpool. But for me, it's just my opinion again, I would definitely give the armband to Trent.
Well, he's a scouser, as you say. I'd rather give it to Big Verge myself, personally.
I'll give it a
it's full of opinions. It's full of opinions.
Trent will get it eventually anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree because he's still a young lad. The likes of Charlie Wood says, you know, I think it's like what Frank Lawton said before. Diaz has scored 4 goals and's been injured for half of the season.
Yeah.
I think that puts everything in perspective about Bellingham.
Bellingham, yeah. Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it? It does, really.
And Nunes.
Well, with Bellingham, I mean, that's gone now. That's done and dusted. So now we've got to look forward to the players Jurgen's going to bring in.
Yeah.
And improve our team.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what happens, really.
I think, do you know when we buy players, I think the next one, by Soulboy Fran, I think it sums everything up. I'm being honest here. Let's see. And I'm going to go to Marios with this. Soulboy Fran says, the trouble with buying players from Premiership is the price. Brighton get their players abroad at bargain prices. Now, my answer to my question to follow up on that: why can't we get these players? Remember Nunes for Wolves last season?
Well, hang on. What about Robbo from Hull? £8 million.
I'm not talking about that, Tom. What I'm saying is these players who Liverpool are going after, these are picked up for their bargain prices. I understand what you're saying there, Tom.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about these foreign players. Now, the prime example is Nunes from Wolves. Now they want around 40 to 50 million, of it's just a bit plus on him. Yet we could have had them for the price that Wolves wanted them. And what was any idea what the excuse was?
No. Oh.
The excuse was this: we'll give him a season to see if he'll fit into the Premier League. you say, yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
If you're going to find these players, Frank, if you're going to find these players from the foreign shores, you need a good scouting system. I mean, I would imagine somebody at Brighton must have their eye on the ball and scouting we don't seem to be doing that at the moment as well as we could be, maybe.
Well, I remember the last time you were on, George, and I mentioned one of the greatest scouts Liverpool have ever had, and that was Jeff Twentyman.
Yes.
Yeah. He was an unbelievable scout. He brought in these players, and but then you have Bob Paisley. He has a fantastic eye for players.
Tom Saunders was the same.
He did, yes, he did.
Yeah. You know, so.
Yep. So it seems like we need someone like Michael Edwards. I think in these kind of things about transfers. I think we miss him a lot, and we will also miss Julian Ward as he leaves.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know if I have seen that we are talking with some others to change to be at his position, but I don't know names. And
he was talking to a fellow. I don't know his name.
For Germany, yeah. I said.
No, there was another fellow from Monaco. He was English, I think. He was British.
Oh, okay.
And they're talking to him, and he'll be coming, and he's, because he's leaving Monaco at the end of the season, and then they said no. They said no, and this was like to take over Julian Ward and Michael Edwards. So I don't know what's going to happen. And that's been a problem with Liverpool all season. Don't forget, we still haven't got the doctor in, for all these injuries. We still haven't got this particular doctor that we want. So there is...
we need more than one doctor.
Yeah, but there's problems behind the scenes besides the team. That's all I'm saying. And Brian Early says, George, was it true that Shanks used to get someone to polish the floor tiles in the away dressing room with a substance that almost had them, like, ice skating before they went out onto the pitch?
Frank, I think that's an urban myth. I don't think he did lots of things, but I can't remember that being one of them. I'll tell you one story I remember from when I was there, though. That you remember Jerry Byrne, the great Jerry Byrne?
Yeah. Brilliant, yeah.
He played in the cup final and broke his collarbone. He was probably the hardest guy in the club, even harder than Tommy Smith. And I remember one game we were playing against Anderlecht, and they had a lad playing for them called Joseph Durion. He had glasses. He was the only player in Europe that wore glasses. Genuinely, you can look him up on the internet.
On the pitch.
Jeff Durion, tiny little glasses. And in the dressing room before the game, Shankly went up to Jerry Byrne and he said, the left winger wears glasses, son. And when you get the glasses, throw them in the cup. And Jerry said, all right, boss, all right. And we were all lined up. They're all lined up to go out. And at the player's entrance, just about to go out, and Jerry said to Bob Paisley, how long should I wait to get the glasses, Bob? Bob said, he's joking, son. He's joking. Jerry if she I'd have grabbed them and threw them in the cup. The boys won't throw them back.
It's incredible, isn't it? That was the persona of one of the greatest of all men, and that was Bill Shankly. Yeah. Because everybody believed him, didn't they? Whatever he said. Albeit that he was kidding everyone up. Like Kevin Keegan, that's when he said about Bobby Moore, one of the greatest left halves in Wales football. He said he was in the club last night. I seen him limping. And watch it. We can get the best of him today. And he believed it. Keegan believed it. And he thought that he could, and he has a great game. He has a great game against...
Simple things, Frank. He used to stop players when they were coming in, the players enter, you stop a young player and say, you played here before, son? And the player said, no, Mr. Shankly, no. He said, do you want some advice? Yes, please, monsieur. Don't take the corners at the cup end. They'll frighten you to death.
And you know what? I don't know who came out with the terminology, actually, that the cop was the 12th man. Was it Shankly?
Yeah.
12th man. The ball into the net, yeah.
Yeah. They come here. It's fantastic stuff. They come here to worship. Unbelievable stuff.
Stephen Snape says, when a team's in transition, an emotional attachment is negative. There's no sentiment in evolution. It's a cutthroat business, and Klopp needs to cull the dead wood. There we go.
I think he will.
Yeah. You've been saying that all season.
Well, look at Keita. I mean, how much did they pay for him?
Oh, geez.
55 million, I think.
And that was going on for months. And we had to wait for a year to get him. He's going to be the greatest thing we've ever signed. He's hardly played
that's going to be one of the worst signings we've ever made.
Yeah.
One of the worst signings we've ever made, I should imagine.
I'll never forget. I went to the, the Barca game here at Anfield, the 4-0 game. Yes. And anyway, he showed it again. He keeps showing it. And they showed you, when we won, beat them. And it goes to, I just said typical. And it goes to Keita, who's sitting in his house with a big thing around his leg. And he jumps up and And I went, that's it. That's a star player. Our star player. He's got this big thing around his leg.
I tell you what, Frank, I'd rather play Milner than Kaiser.
Exactly. But I think that's a good point, isn't it? Really, you know what Stephen Snape says, and Petros says, confidence, bring confidence, not arrogance. Oh, what an opening that is. Confidence, bring confidence, not arrogance. I think Jürgen wants his players hot and 100% in Liverpool's mentality. Play for the badge on the chest, not the name on the back. Wow.
Yeah. And you can see the highlight of last night was Klopp's reaction in the last minutes when he was like that. When we
and the lads were running back to the ball.
The four players pressed like crazy. The poor
6-1 up.
players.
6-1 up.
That's what he said
He
when he
loved
said
it.
about when he said he's seen the four players around that, you know.
That's right.
What I want, he said. Not just them, but right through the game.
Yeah. I was out in my seat. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, listen, lads, you think that you know, last night's results will give them. So we're going to play another team that, you know, we'll normally struggle against, and we have been struggling against the bottom half of the thing, except last night. Don't forget, Leeds beat us at Anfield, you know.
Yeah.
They beat us at Anfield.
The only one with Virgil.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he hadn't been, you know, since he joined Liverpool, never been beaten with him. With him in the side.
The only game that night, yes.
Yeah.
Amazing,
Yeah. Okay, so with Nottingham Forest at the weekend, last night's game against Chelsea as well. How do you think the confidence will be coming out at Anfield? You know, against Nottingham Forest, coming on the pitch. How do you think?
I think when we come out at Anfield, especially after Arsenal and Leeds, he got that belief back. You could see it in the play. He got the belief back. We can do this.
Yeah.
We're Liverpool. Nobody writes us off. And it wouldn't surprise me if they got 4, put it that way.
No,
I doubt it very much. But it would not surprise me.
No.
But they've got to put that performance in now in the next 8 games.
Yeah. I mean, last time we won 7-0 against United. We then went and lost to Bournemouth 1-0. That was an away game. I can't see us losing on Saturday, really.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
I think that we are starting playing with less pressure, with more freedom. That we are now in a position that we have nothing to lose.
That's a good point.
And
I agree.
Yeah.
I also believe that the outcome of the Jude Bellingham saga, that the fact that look, we were afraid of not being at Champions League, not playing Champions League football, because we were thinking about, if we don't make it to the top 4, maybe we cannot sign Jude Bellingham. And right now, the FSG and club came out and told us that whatever happens, we will not sign Jude Bellingham. So take it easy, relax, and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I think this atmosphere, deployed in the team, and we play with more freedom. Let's play, let's give it a try, and whatever happens, it's good.
I also think, Marios, think that they're fighting for places now as competition to get in the team now, the starting lineup. Before, almost anybody could get in because they were all injured. And now they're going to have to get really stuck in to keep themselves in that team, I think. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Spot on, George. Spot on. Totally agree with you.
Especially for players like Jota, like Curtis Jones, it's a real opportunity, especially for Curtis. It's a real opportunity for the next season, not only for the current season.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's played well in the last 2 games. Hopefully that'll kick him on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
To produce that performance. Yeah.
He needs a run of games. So also, I think that the last time he had that it was at the autumn of 2022, 5 games in a row, and he's unlucky, of course, with the injuries. Yeah, of course, he needs to.
That's what I was saying last night about Jota. I was saying last night about Jota. He hasn't scored for 12 months, and he's had a run in the team. And I'm texting Mick Carter, and I'm saying, this is going to be his last chance here now. And he's not even playing. First half, he wasn't even. He gave the ball away more than anything.
Yeah.
And then he scored, and I text Mick. Oh, did they text you, Frank? What a player!
What a player! You know, Tommy's very hypocritical. You know that, don't you? And contradicts himself. That's great. That's what you're after. You know, these checks and the chat at half time. Absolutely hilarious. Just hilarious.
I've always said he was a great player.
So what do you think of Charlie was? And he says Henderson controls the game. He's obviously not fit as he was, but still reads the game.
I don't think he does now, Charles. I think Trent's taken over that role.
Yeah.
Trent run the game last night. He run every bit of it.
He did, Tommy. Yeah, he did. And Henderson's still okay for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't get rid of him, obviously, but you know he's got to limit his games.
But look. All right, say like he stays for another 28 years. You know, as long as he keeps getting these.
Don't just be facetious there now.
Yeah.
Don't just be facetious.
Of course. But say he stays next year, let's be honest. And you know, and I know, and we've mentioned it before, that his legs have gone and he can't start every game.
Yeah.
And he can't finish every game. Albeit that he finished the last couple of games. He has finished. And I think it's to show the likes of you, me, and everybody else who watches Liverpool, he has got it still in his tank. He's still got it in his tank. Whereas fans say, no, he hasn't got it in his tank to last 90 minutes or whatever, you know, or 2 games a week. Okay.
I'm not going to slag him off because he's been
I'm not doing so. No one's
No, I know you're not. But I'm saying he's been a great captain for us.
Yeah. Yes.
Most successful captain, apparently.
All as I'm saying, George, I'm sorry. All as I'm saying, I called you George last night, didn't I, Tommy?
You did, yeah.
I said, do the FNL's George. I said, I don't know, it just came out. But anyway, say he stays like for another season, and you know for a fact that he's not going to be playing every game. He's not going to be starting every game or ending every game. Do you see what I mean? He'd be coming off the bench now and again.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do you take the armband off him? That's all I'm asking.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think he will.
I'd take the armband off him.
What would you say, Mario?
I don't think Klopp will take the armband off Jordan Henderson this season.
No.
Maybe next season.
No, not this season. Not this season, George. No.
Next season.
Yeah,
because he won't be starting every game. That's all I'm saying. What do you think, Marios? Would you take the armband for next season off him?
There's no need to.
I was thinking of Ali for some reason.
Yeah. We've had that discussion, though, because lots of fans were out, wouldn't trust the goalkeeper.
No, I'm not into that either, no. I'm not into that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got to be an outfield player.
We tend to have defenders, always usually defenders, midfielders.
Yes, I see. Yes.
So, boy, France says, great story about the crunch, George. Didn't Shanks ignore everyone who was injured?
Well, he did. I mean, if you were injured with Bill, you were a non-person as long as you were injured. And I remember Chris Lawler. He played for 7 consecutive seasons, missed 1 game or 2 games, I think, you know. Then he turned over on his ankle at Melwood and he went into the pavilion. And when he come out, Shanks came over with Bob Paisley, looked up and seen him coming hobbling down the steps. And he said, there's that Malinga, Lola. I remember Gordon Wallace.
Yeah.
Gordon Wallace, he always had lots of injuries. He was going to be a superstar, Gordon. Scored the first goal for Liverpool ever in European Cup at Reykjavik. Scored the first ever goal on Match of the Day, but Gordon was struck down with a lot of injuries. And he's still my best friend today, Gordon. Seen him on Friday. And he Gordon Wallace, yeah. And he got these broken ankles and things. And again, he was coming out of the treatment room with his walking stick, and Shankly shouts to Bob Paisley, he said, there's Wallace. He said, his walking stick's been sold and healed twice. He had more operations than him. His walking sticks had more operations than him. You know?
Was that the same with Jack Whiston?
Yeah.
He said he'd break his leg getting out of bed.
He didn't believe in injuries. But nobody ever got injured. That's what I can't understand.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't get in the big team more than I had 3 cup games, that was it. I couldn't get in the team because nobody got injured. There was no substitutes. So you couldn't get in as a substitute. You could travel with the team. You could carry the skip as the 12th man. But unless somebody got injured, you couldn't play. And nobody ever got injured. When they won the league and the cup in 64-65, they used 13 players the whole season.
Unbelievable.
Look at the difference.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Why are they getting injured so much? Is it because the game's quicker? Is it because the muscles are tighter? Or there must be a reason why we have so many injuries.
And then boots are paper thin. No, there's loads of metatarsals going.
Yeah.
The boots are like paper.
Well, I like playing in slip.
You've only got to look, lads, at Mo Salah. Mo Salah gets kicked.
Yeah, he never gets.
He's incredible.
Does he ever miss a game? Is he ever injured?
No.
He's very fit, though, and he looks after himself. He's very strong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like a little Oak Street.
He's a kind of Cristiano Ronaldo in the way he trains.
Yeah.
It's like a freak, you know.
He's not big, but nobody can push him off the ball.
Yeah,
exactly. He should have had a penalty last night when he was pushed. He was pushed there. He was pushed out the way when he had the ball at his feet in the area, and he was pushed, and he just went down and bang, you know. But anyway, he never got the penalty.
I think Tommy. I think today they're playing like with slippers on, with little light balls and perfect turf, and it's a dream, an absolute dream for a footballer now.
Heading the ball now.
Yeah, the ball's
quite light. Worried about it's like heading a balloon compared to your day, George, when it was, especially when it was wet.
Yeah,
that left the Casey. What's the way down for Tom?
Knock you out.
Yeah, crazy.
We used to play, when kids, young fellas running around playing football in the street or whatever. And we used to play with plastic balls. Remember the plastic ones?
Yeah.
And if it went down a little, it only went down a little, and you went to take a shot, your foot would like go through the thing and catch the bottom of your shin. And you'd always see us walking home with him. After the freezing cold day playing football in the street.
I remember when they introduced the white ball, Frank, because it always used to be orange balls and brown ball. And then when the floodlights came in and the white ball came in, it stayed ever since. Well, that absorbed the moisture.
Well, didn't the orange ball come in because of the snow? Because you couldn't see the white ball in the snow, could you?
Yeah. I remember in 1963, there was no games played for about 2 months. They had a big freeze in Liverpool. And there was hardly any matches played for about 3 months between January and March. And in those days, what Shankly did, he got all the night watchmen's braziers on the pitch, the coal over the pitch to melt the snow. There was no undersoil heating in those days.
I forget what team. It was a German team this in the 60s.
Cologne,
the toss-up. And I'm stuck. It's, as it dropped, it stuck. It never went so one way or the other. The referee looked and he couldn't give us it. And he tossed it again. And that was a mad one, that wasn't it?
But don't you think that was a horrible way to lose a game?
Yeah, of course it was. It was
my God. Scandalous.
Stephen Smith says, Mr. Shankly said that being in the COP was like being in a mutually exclusive society. The tribalism that's imbued in us in many ways comes from that.
Yeah.
I think Mario says that in your book, don't you, Mario? Marios,
Sorry?
the words in your book are similar to what he's just said.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I thought it's Marios a Scouser.
Moscaso won. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only team in Europe who keep playing to the whistle when they are winning, says Charlie Wood.
A good point, Charlie.
We've always done that. Liverpool's always done that, really.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
Maybe we used to score most of our goals in the 92nd and 93rd minute.
Yes. Yeah. Don't be surprised if we steamroll a Forest, says Brian Edley.
Oh, we will do. I can't see us doing anything else.
No.
I'm very surprised.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a good one here. And it's Brian Edley. Spurs and Newcastle take points off each other at the weekend. We win and beat Spurs the following week. We're right back in it.
Yep. He's not wrong.
Well, I was talking about this the other day. About Newcastle, Spurs, especially Newcastle. They haven't been where they are now. And it's like Arsenal. There's only Man City, really, you can see who's going to win that league. I think Arsenal will blow up. Because they're not used to doing that. I think Spurs and Newcastle could slip up. We are used to doing it. Yes, and Man City are used to doing it. That's why I think City will win the league. And hopefully we can get
of course.
In the top four.
Yeah. If we finish, we can finish that strongly. I'm sure we have real chances to make it to top four. You know, the first step is to make it to Europe in general. But let's be honest, we can make it. We can make it.
When you look at it, Marios, we've still got 24 points to play for.
We did it before, didn't
exactly,
we? A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He won the.
He finished third.
Well,
he finished third, then, George.
He scored the header. We went in one European Cup, you know, we can still do it.
Yeah.
We weren't in it, and we finished third that year.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's not your leg, son. That's a Liverpool's leg.
That was Tommy Smith. Tommy was complaining about his bad leg. He says, not his leg.
Oh, brilliant.
Not your leg, son. Not your leg, son.
That's something for you, Marios. Can you thank Marios? Participation in another language is difficult in this kind of environment.
Oh, my God.
And his English is a million miles from being a Greek tragedy. English is excellent. And Tommy Bucky should be ashamed of himself.
I just found what I will post to my social media accounts right after. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's the highlight.
Better English than me and you, mate.
Yeah, oh my God, thank you so much. And I am always a little bit nervous about my English, but
really,
spot on, mate. It's spot on.
English than me.
That's boss. That's boss. Let's say
that's boss.
That's boss. Yes.
That's boss.
Boss Statler. Yeah. Enzo has been a brilliant skipper, but it's time for a new one, says Paul Keenan.
Yeah, totally agree.
I agree as well. I really do. I really do, because you've got to move on with the times. You really have.
Yeah.
And even like, he's got Milner who hardly plays. Let's be honest, he hardly plays, and he's just been given the odd 10 minutes like lately. And he came on last night and took the armband. What's that all about?
Because as I said to George before, Jürgen has a fault, and it's loyalty. And I think it's them two players we just mentioned who he's loyal. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong, but there comes a time when he's got to go, right, sorry, lads, off you go.
It's a ruthless business. You need to, in the end, you know.
Yeah.
What about that one there? Charlie Woods, I think it was the Cologne game. Fans from other clubs saying, "You'll never walk alone." Like that.
That might have been.
Don't give up your day job.
Well, Showboy France says, does anyone remember the game in the fog in the 60s when Annie Rhodes, who scored and the cup?
Tony Aitley.
I
Tony
don't.
Aitley.
I don't.
Oh, you wasn't born then.
You weren't born.
I don't myself. I don't myself. Yeah, you know, it's just mad games.
Remember the Leeds game is on careless hands.
That was
Gary Sprake.
the classic.
Sprake, yeah.
Threw it in the net.
That was unbelievable.
He threw it into his own net in the cup.
Threw it into his own net. Get it on YouTube, Marios. You can see it. But he's keeper threw the ball into his own net.
Yeah, Marios.
Oh.
Some girl that was. I don't want you to look at her name. You still want to hear me talking, lads, says Brian Edley, because he's Irish.
Hey, I love the Irish, mate.
That's the next level, yes.
I'm talking to.
I'll be over there in June.
And Charlie Wood says, we have Greek guests and need subtitles for the Scousers.
Well, it's Charlie, lad.
Oh, that was a cracker, that one. And your English is first class. Your nervousness is unnecessary.
Oh, thank you. That just to
look at him now.
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's going to do laugh about it now.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Stephen Smith wants to be mentioned in dispatches in Greece. Yeah, oh, that's all he wants. So listen, lads, who did you play against Forest on? Who did you play against them?
I would play Nunes up front.
Yeah.
Go ahead, George. Go on. Who did you play? Let's see.
Go on, George.
Well, I would play. I would have obviously Alisson, Trent, Robertson, Konate, Van Dijk. That's them fixed. Midfield, if he's fit, I'd have Thiago. I'd probably have Curtis, and probably Henderson. And then up front, I would have Nunes, Salah, and
Gakpo.
Yeah, Gakpo. And then with Firmino and one or two others on the bench.
With Jota to come on, you mean?
Yeah, Jota and Firmino.
And the likes of Bobby, yeah.
I don't think I'll be too far wrong with that.
No, well, that's the beauty of what Tommy mentions at the beginning, of the show, the podcast, that, we had a bench finally, because there's no time.
Yeah.
So who would you play, Marios? Who would you like to see playing? Go with your back four. Go with your back four. Be interesting.
I will agree with George about the back four, yes. Because, I think that Konate fits perfectly the way Trent plays right now, because he can cover the space behind the midfield, and in case of counterattacks, I think that this is the only center half of Liverpool that can make that so well. Because of the pace, I would go for Fabinho instead of Hendo.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, in order to give more offensive creativity and freedom to Curtis and Thiago. Maybe that was the only spot I would, change the lineup of George's squad.
Yeah, I agree with you. I forgot about Fabinho. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, we have so many players, and now we forget many.
Yeah, they're showing up now.
I had a chat with a friend of mine just before our show, and we were talking about next season and our midfield, and I forgot Bajcetic. He was talking to me about our midfielders, and then suddenly he referred to Bajcetic. Oh yeah, it's Bajcetic also. Yes, there's so many right now.
Well, there's
he's got to be out of a player.
Brian says Gomez right back, Trent, Enzo, Elliott in midfield, Nunes, Mo, and Firmino. So who's your forwards? Who's your forwards be? Marios.
Mine would. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, yeah. Thanks. I'm asking Marios
about the forwards.
Oh, yeah, the forwards. Yeah.
In the game against Nottingham.
Yeah.
Oh, I will agree with George. Yes, about Nunes, Gakpo, and Mo.
Okay.
It sounds really interesting. Yes, and in combination with.
So this is who you'd start. Okay, midfield. I'm going to go. What about midfield? Who would you have in midfield?
The midfield. Yeah, for Fabinho and Thiago and Curtis, I think. Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to Tommy.
Well, I totally agree with the two of them because I think that'd be a hell of a team. Maybe I'd put Firmino in.
Instead of?
I put Bobby in instead of Gakpo.
Okay. What about, you said about Trent at right back. And what about just floating midfield role?
Well, that's what he was doing the other day. Do the same.
Do the same
as he did against Leeds.
Okay. As I've Thiago in. That's who I'd have in. He'd be the first name on the sheet. He'd be the first name on the sheet. Thiago.
I love Thiago. He plays the killer passes. He plays the forward pass, the unexpected pass. He's got fantastic skill. He's a world-class player. Just keeps clear of injuries. That's the main thing, really.
Yeah.
I'll have Fabinho in because Fabinho played well last night and no one's given him a shout. Nobody has given him a shout. And when Jota got that ball, I forget what goal it was for. I think it was the first. No, was it the first? I don't know what goal it was, but it was Mo Salah's. And he tackled that lad on the edge of the area, Jota. And he gave it, Fabinho just picked it up and he just put it out. Just a short ball. He knew where he was putting it. And then the other fellow was down the wing then, Robertson.
Yeah.
When he got the ball. But I'd have Fabinho. I would. But as Charlie Wood says, hang on. Cool. This is a good one. Sorry, Salah instead of Bobby says, you've got to.
No, I wouldn't have put Salah.
Yeah, you can't. No one can drop Salah. I wouldn't have Fabinho making the say awful red cards alert every game, says Brian Headley.
That's a bit strong.
Yeah. Well, Charlie Wood says Fab is collecting yellow cards, 2 more, and he's got the set. True, and he gets banned.
It's the position he plays and the game he plays. He's unlucky. You look at some of them yellow cards and see what half a dozen of one and 6 of the other. Know what I mean?
Well, Paul Keenan says Nunes is a must in the forwards. That goal last night will boost his confidence immensely,
especially at home.
Like I mentioned before, as soon as that first goal by Jota, he played brilliant afterwards. He had a spring in his step and he scored a wonderful second goal.
Well, the good thing last night, Frank, about Nunes, he brought the ball down and he wasn't erratic and he placed it. Normally he just ladders it, hopes for the best.
That's a good point.
And he
Yes.
just placed it. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Thiago's vision and distribution is excellent, and I agree. I'd play Firmino a start in front of Gakpo. Now, the thing is, with that, you've got to look at what Klopp does all the time. Now, that's his player. He brought him in when we were screaming out for midfielders. So he has to play him. He has to say, oh, look at this. So he has to play him, because if he starts dropping him or whatever, people will be saying, well, hang on, well, you bought him, well, and you're dropping it. And that's the way some people, unfortunately, react to when players come in.
But the thing is now, Frank, if we get all our forwards fighting fit, he's going to be dropped.
On this show, my friend, I think he might stick with Jota, Gakpo, Salah for Forest. Nunes is a better sub. Thought Gakpo was good last night. Yeah, he was. Gakpo was good.
He's done quite well the last 3 or 4 games, Gakpo. He's coming on nicely.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a good predicament to be in.
It's ever since he scored his first goal, he's been coming on. Really, I'm not saying leaps and bounds, but he has been getting better. Getting better.
The only thing with Nunes, the number of chances, I mean, it's amazing the number of positions he gets in to score goals.
Yeah.
And he must have had so many chances this year. And if I'd taken a fraction of those, he'd be up about 25 goals by now. I think he's already scored about 12 or 14, hasn't he? But he's missed an awful lot when he's been one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, totally agree with you, George.
Stephen Snape says, I'd keep Gakpo hungry. Yeah, he's playing well, but I refer to what I said earlier, no sentiment in evolution. What do you think of that, Marios? What Stephen Snape says?
Look, Gakpo looked really sharp last night. Not only the goal, but the pass to Mo was also incredible. That was an amazing goal in the great teamwork that starts with a great defensive act of Jota, of course. I agree with you that I think that a reason for using so much Gakpo is that Klopp has to do it in order to put him in the team for the next season also. So I think that's why I believe also that maybe he will stick with Gakpo. Yes. Being a little bit, trying to be a little bit romantic, I am starting to think about that these are the last days of Bobby in the team. We all would love to see him more, just to see him for the last game weeks. Because there are so many games. The season is so intense, and there's so much more to go for. We haven't really realized what's going to happen in some weeks with Bobby.
Well, the thing is, he's a legend now. He's made himself a legend.
He's a legend, of course. He's a legend. Yes, and I think he leaves at the best time to leave as a legend, to be remembered like the way he deserved. Yes.
Yeah.
Not to remember as a rotation player and then not as good as the past. And he leaves as a legend. So this is maybe
that smile just lights up the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Klopp will give him plenty game time between now and the end.
I did.
I
did, George.
If he doesn't get injured, And see, we can't really afford to be taking our foot off the pedal.
No.
Not at this stage of the season. So I think he'd be picking his best 11 to carry on to the end of the season, because you never know. If we win all our games, don't forget one of these, as someone mentioned before, they have to play each other.
Yeah, and I also think that we haven't mentioned before that it was a big relief last night that we won away.
Yeah.
No injuries. No injuries.
Yeah.
Yes.
We won a game away. That's a good step.
Yeah.
I know, and it's the first game, I think, since Boxing Day, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it is. I think it's the first away game since Boxing Day.
Against
And-
Villa, I think. Yes.
Yeah, against Villa, absolutely. Brian Edley says Nunes right down the middle and let Trent feed him. That was a great ball by Trent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we expect, though, Frank.
Yeah, but the way he took it as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying about Nunes. Normally, he did that first time,
Yeah.
and I'd go anywhere. But he brought it down last night and just slotted it.
Yeah, that's what he needs to
Now,
do.
that's what he needs in his game.
That's what the great strikers do, isn't it? You know, they just pick the spot and shove it to corner.
Yeah. And if he can get that in his game, as George said, you get 30 goals out of a season.
And Charlie Wood says Nunes needs to practice chipping over the keeper.
Yeah. Missed a few of those this year.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you have it the way we're at Anfield at the weekend. We've come back off a fantastic win last night. We really have, no matter how you look at it, because there are some people who are actually saying, well, Leeds are not that good, Bournemouth are not that good, and we were beaten by them. Wolves are not that good, and we were beaten by them.
Because we weren't a good side then.
You can't really say anything unless someone comes back and says something.
Yeah. I honestly think it'll be another 4 or 5 against Forest at the weekend.
There's not many teams that beat us playing like we played last night.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody. Not if we play with that sort of style.
No, absolutely.
Let's not forget we deserve to win against the league leaders.
Yeah,
yeah.
Better side, far better side.
Should have won the second half. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
If Canati had just got his chest a bit further forward on the line.
Oh.
He fell over.
Oh, please.
I wish he had a belly like mine. He would have put it in.
I know.
No, everyone who you talk to, why didn't he hit it? But as someone said, he's that tall. Even like when he's kneeling down, he's that tall. He just couldn't get his head to it, so he decided to check it in.
Too low for his head and too high for his feet.
Yeah.
Why did he just fall on it and roll over the line?
He should have done, shouldn't he? But that's one of those lovely things that we've got about this Liverpool side. It just see what you've got the likes of this team now, and we're free from injury. We have a bench that could come on, and in my opinion, it's the first time that a bench there that someone can come off and change your game.
Yeah.
Because we
haven't had that all season.
We haven't seen it all season.
No.
There were so many games that we were thinking about. What if we had Luis Diaz, for example, or Thiago, for example?
Yeah.
That's why I think we can go up. And it might sound impossible, but I think we could win at least 6 out the last 8 games.
Yeah.
I also believe that we could have many more chances against Real Madrid. Also.
Yeah. Wait, first 2-0 up.
I'm sick over that. I'm sick over. I was only thinking about it before we come on air.
Sorry for the reminder.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
It was a kind reminder.
The Champions League. How many finals have we been in? And how many,
Nine.
you know, we were saying, I wonder who we'll get in the semis. I wonder who we'll get. I wonder who we'll get.
Joe, isn't that amazing? We've been in 9 finals and won 6. And City have not won 1.
No.
It's incredible. And look at the team they have there. Look at and they haven't won the European Cup. That must be a blow. That they've got to.
The one against Real Madrid, we were the best team in that one in the final.
And the goalkeeper.
We were the best team in that final. We should have won it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If we play 10 times that game, we will win.
We will win.
Yeah.
10 times. Yeah.
And
it was meant to be. Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine this time last year, lads. You know, we were saying, weren't we, about the final, the coming final, you know, in Paris.
Yeah.
And we really thought, I thought we were going to win. I really believed we were going to win. And what I was saying to myself, a couple of other, to my daughter Francine, I said, we're so disappointed that the league was taken away from us with 2 late goals.
Oh.
Right? And I said, we'll go out all determined and everything else to go at this lot, to go at them and beat them. It just never happened. And I thought it would carry on this season, to be honest.
I mean, when you look at the league titles we've lost over the last 1 point.
I mean, that was ridiculous.
I mean, only for the grace of God and the points we dropped at Anfield or the draw we got at Anfield. It's just ifs and buts, but they could have been our titles.
Yeah.
I mean, them last 2 goals in the last minutes against Aston Villa broke my heart completely. It was shocking. Couldn't believe it.
I thought Steven Gerrard was going to put his kit on and go on. Stop them from scoring.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, Steven Gerrard, just imagine having him. And someone mentioned today that Prince Arnold could be the new Steven Gerrard in midfield because he's a scouser. And as you said, Tommy, before, he wasn't
I
just
think
like...
Jamie Carragher said that, yes.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Last night,
he was everywhere. And he can pass a ball, by the way. He's great pass. That ball to Nunes last night to Darwin. That was never penalty.
As George said before, there's only De Bruyne, I would say, who can hit the ball just as good as him. There's not many.
He's been doing it for a long time as well.
Yeah. And as you say, he's only a kid. Still only a kid.
Yeah. I know, he's got it all before him, all ahead of him.
Yeah.
And Jamie Carragher said that about Steven Gerrard because Trent was everywhere last night. Was completely everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere you were watching, you could see him.
I know we've got great players. But Frank will tell you, George will tell you more like, when you're a scouser and you're in that team, it means it's special. It's special.
That's what I want.
Shankly used to say, Frank, your current standards become your future challenge. That was one of the things he used to say. So if Trent's playing at that level now, that's his challenge to stay at that level.
Yeah.
Like he was last night, stay at that level.
Well,
I'm sure he will.
Showboy France saying, Trent playing with a cigar now in his new role. Please leave him there, Jürgen.
Yeah, I think he will.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think.
Well, let's hope
Jürgen put him there, so he's got to stay there.
Yes, of course. He has to. Something has to happen.
With that system, definitely.
I just want to ask all the fans here, all the listeners and viewers and everyone, please just like and subscribe. It costs nothing to get the algorithm out there. If there's anybody listening in, please do that for me. Just like it and subscribe and get the algorithm right out there to everywhere, because I know that lots and lots of people are actually tuning in from everywhere, but they can comment, but they won't like to comment, but just subscribe I know that they're out there.
I put it on my Facebook, Frank.
There you go, you see. Imagine Bacacek, Trent and Casido next season backed up by some robust acquisitions in midfield.
Yeah, Bacacek, yeah.
Yeah, as Mario said before, we forget about it.
Yeah. He's having the rest.
Probably our best player until he got injured.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Young lad.
It was a big loss.
Yeah.
It was considered as a big loss.
What do you think of Casido, though? What do you think of him? Lads, I'll have to go a minute. Go on, keep it on. But what do you think of this Casido? What if we went after Levy's with this? I won't be long. Casido, Rice, Mason Mount, and that Mateus Nunes. Any of them? Who would you rather have? Won't be long.
I'm not sure. I don't know too much about it. I know about Nunes. Casido, I don't know too much about. Do you, Marius?
Not at all. No. Just a little bit, but yes, I think he's a kind of a more defensive midfielder. I think that we have to look for one like Declan Rice that we have mentioned in our last shows, because of the Fabinho growing older, and we've seen him having problems in the kind of intensity and all these kind of things this season. So I'm sure that we need a player like Fabinho to help him also, and to go to the next level. I think maybe I would love Declan. Yes.
The good thing is the proven in the Premiership. The proven you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great to think we could get Declan Rice, but it seems to be he wants to stay in London. Where would he go if he didn't come to Liverpool? I mean, who would want to sign him? Chelsea?
I think he wants to stay in London.
He does
but
want to stay.
If West Ham go down,
you go.
I think he's up for grabs, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I think he has I think if he has a conversation with Jurgen Klopp, I think he's typical of the Shanks. You speak to Shankly, there's only one place you go, and it's Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always said Klopp, to me anyway, is a reincarnation of Shankly.
Yeah.
He's really
if you speak to Klopp, you're going to his team.
Yeah. He's got the love for the club. He's got the love for the fans. He's got the socialist ideals that Shankly had. He's all about the team effort and individual. I think it's uncanny, really. And I knew Shankly personally very well.
Yeah. And when he wants so much a player, he takes it alone. He calls him directly and asks him to come.
I went to Melbourne. I was in Klopp's office, and he's got Shankly's picture. Well, he moved to Kirby now, but he had Shankly's picture up on the wall there, above his desk. So I mean, he knows the history of the club. He knows where it all came from. Not just Shankly, but the rest have folled on. And the history of this club, we are so lucky to be. We're so lucky and blessed to be supporters of this club. I'll tell you.
Oh,
I mean,
tell me about it.
I mean, Jeff and I wrote the book. We spoke about the 60 years that we've been supporting the club. The things that have happened. You've seen most of it, Tommy. You've seen all the recent stuff, Marius. But going back to right back to the Shankly era and coming up through Paisley and Fagan and into.
But it's marvelous. Didn't he win the league 50, 60 years today?
Yes, I think you're probably right about.
I think he did.
1964. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
beat Arsenal 4-0.
That's right. Yeah, at Anfield to win the league. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it was 4-0. I can't remember the score, but
I think it was something like that.
Yeah, but that's 60 years. Yeah, that was the first. They promoted in 62, and then won the league in 64 and the cup in 65.
Yeah,
the league again in 66, I think. But then Shankly had a few barren years as well.
Oh yeah.
Until they Paisley.
Yeah, but it shows you. I mean, more than what we do, George. The legacy he left. Especially with Bob Paisley.
Yeah.
It was an entirely different man to Shankly. Very quiet, didn't drink. No, But what a manager.
Yeah. Well, Bob
Unbelievable manager.
He
Most
was a
successful
genius.
of all.
Yeah, he was a
Yes.
genius.
Yeah,
Bob.
yeah.
I mean, he was
Then
an
you had Joe
understatement.
Fagan.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joe Fagan won the treble.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Shankly, man. Unbelievable, yeah.
When Bill came to the club, he said to them, he said, "You're not going anywhere. I'm keeping you. You're staying with me." Because most managers would come in and you have their own staff, but no, he said he knew that Ruben Bennett and and Bobby Paisley and Joe were the right people. Ronnie Moran, they were the right people. And it was proved, and that's where the thing just started to turn and click. But Shankly was like, he was charismatic and he was the front man. But Paisley was the back man that was making it all happen behind the scenes, and they were a great partnership.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it's a pity, it's a pity Jürgen hasn't got that type of backroom staff with him now.
Yeah, that's a difference, I think. I don't know too much about Jürgen's backroom staff. Obviously, I know the main ones, but there's a lot of people involved in the club now, isn't there? At every level.
Yeah.
If you look at Kirby, they've got dressing rooms for under 9s, under 12s, under 16s.
Yeah.
All the, it's just an amazing operation now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Where when I was there, it was
room
Melwood.
has turned into a science room,
Yeah, I remember going to Melwood with Gordon Wallace and Bobby Graham, and they were sitting on computers, sitting and working out moves and working out all different health issues, and they had a plunge pool and they had squash court and beautiful pitches, just like Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
I said when I was last on that we had one pitch at Melwood that was like Wembley Stadium. The rest were like ploughed fields. And Shankly wouldn't let MD on that pitch unless he had 5 or 6 caps.
You just mentioned the lad there, George, Bobby Graham. I remember him breaking his leg against Chelsea at Anfield.
You see that?
Yeah. That.
That's me and Bobby.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Bobby. That's at Melwood. I can't get it in the picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Bobby
I see
there.
it now, yeah.
Sadly, Bobby's not well at the moment. He's got, like a lot of people have, dementia. And last week he fell and broke his hip. And he's in hospital in Motherwell with a broken hip as well. So,
but I remember him breaking his leg against Chelsea at Anfield.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And he broke in the team. See, Bobby broke in the team for a few games and he didn't play again in the first team for a few years. But when it got to 1969, he played 54 consecutive appearances. And then they sold him to Coventry.
And he wasn't the biggest guy in the world, was he?
He played in that game, Tommy. Do you remember the game against Everton, the derby?
I remember the game. I was there.
Andy Brown scored the header.
Yeah.
It is on net.
Flying header.
Yeah.
Best own goal I've ever seen since Gary Flakes.
Bobby scored that day.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Bobby Graham scored, didn't he, in that game?
He did. Bobby. I'm just saying, Frank, he just fell and broke his hip last week.
Yeah.
Bobby. And he's got dementia as well, so he's not in the best situation at the moment. So my thoughts are with him. I'm still a great friend.
Yeah.
Wonderful player he was.
I remember Ray Kennedy, and someone was telling me, it was an ex-player actually. Was it Jimmy Case? I think it was Jimmy. He was out with Jimmy having a drink, and he said that that he had Parkinson's, don't you?
Yeah.
And someone even then coming out to play on the pitch had to tie his bootlaces.
See, I know.
So you don't know what goes on, do you?
No.
There's another legacy of Paisley. Kennedy's one of the most prolific goal scorers in the first division at Arsenal.
Yeah. And
Bob made him into one of the best midfielders in the first division when he come here.
He did.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He signed Kenny, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, listen, lads, have you enjoyed it tonight? I'm sorry, I had to do something.
Yeah.
You've got to put the bin out.
I'm going to text you and tell you what it was.
Yeah, it's been great, Frank. Been great. Nice to meet Marios as well.
Yeah, great. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, that was
a real pleasure. Met you?
Yeah.
Really? Because George there's a book about George called The Lost Shankly Boy.
Yeah, Mario. I know. Yeah, we are friends.
There he
There
is.
it
Look.
is.
Facebook. We are friends in Facebook for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says on the front, this is the reprinted edition. The first edition sold out. It says, transport you so
Mine's
vividly
over there.
you
I'm
can
not going
smell
over there to get mine.
Shut off. We don't need
Thank you, Frank.
Hey, at least I bought me own.
Teammates.
No, oh, yeah, look at that. They are
Yeah.
shaking.
At least I bought me own.
Before I go, I must
Something
show you this. Yeah, that's the reference Bill Shankly gave me. Can you see
good,
it? Now?
That's it there, yeah.
Yeah,
Records
now,
good, yeah.
I feel.
I'll read. That's in his one finger typing his typewriter, and it says, "I'll read it to you." It says, "Hey, to whom it may concern," it's a reference. Dear people. You know, when you have a reference, it normally says, "Dear sir or madam." Dear people, the world. The above player played for my club under my management for nearly 5 years, and during that time, he never caused anybody any trouble. I would stake my life on his character. And it's signed in Reading, Bill Shankly. Now, that's my
Brilliant.
most precious possession, even all these
I
years.
tell you it is. Yeah. Brilliant, that's yours.
You can't help but admire that. That's inspiration. Inspiration within itself.
No, I was saying to you before, it's just what management's all about. When I left Liverpool, and he had to let me go, he knew he had to let me go, and he was not. You talk about loyalty, Tommy. He knew that I had to go because I couldn't break in the team because there was no substitutes. I was 20 years of age, and I had to move on. A bit like some of the players at Liverpool now. You've got to move on. You can't play in the reserves forever. And he said to me, I remember, and he was really upset. And he said to me, I want you to think of yourself as the foundation stone of a Liverpool cathedral. Without the stone, son, the cathedral doesn't get. That's
Brilliant.
wonderful, and I never knew what he meant, but he had this wonderful way of making you feel good. Well, moving you on,
Yeah.
I don't know whether I've ever told you this. I don't know whether I've ever told you this. And it's about like Shankly and Nessie. When we went over, I don't know whether it was Honved or Ferencváros we were playing over in Hungary. And the Baron, who I got to know very well, he was the Hungarian consul here. He was the Hungarian, got to know him very well, actually. And he told me this story. He was the interpreter, by the way, for the Shanks. He was the interpreter. And I don't know whether I've said this before. He said, listen, lads, this is in the hotel. And there was a big rose on the front, and like a little lane at the back of the hotel. And he said to Nessie, he said, I need the lads, we'll go to your Ness, go to you, and have our coffee. Right, so he's sitting there with Nessie. And Nessie's sitting there like that with him, and they're drinking the coffee. And all of a sudden, he said, this fella starts walking down the lane, just walking down the lane. And they're looking at him. Now, Liverpool fans, as you know, wear no colours, strangely enough. They wear no colours. I know I've got all this on tonight, but that's just for that scarf and badge. I love Michael Dean's, that scarf and badge. It's the merchandise. I love it. So if there's anyone out there going the game on at the weekend, the Nottingham Forest game, go into that scarf and badge and you get all the
good
stuff. Right, so this fella's walking down. So they're just looking at him, just dressed in ordinary clothes and walking down. Now, don't forget, this is like St. Ferencváros, the middle of Hungary, somewhere in the middle of Hungary, an Iron Curtain country at that. And all of a sudden, just walking down, and the person just looked up and went, all right, Bill, let's go and have a stuff these. And walked on. And she said, Nessie said, it's the first time I've ever seen Bill gobsmacked. And all as he turned around and said, yeah, everywhere, Nessie. Everywhere. Charlie kept saying everywhere. And then in the goal of players, he said, we've got a fan. We've got a fan. Oh, incredible. You know, it's one of the greatest stories that you can. Bill Shankly.
Yeah, remember he said to my father in the centre circle at Anfield when he was showing me around as a 15-year-old kid, and he said to my father, he said, "Your boy's lucky to be here, Mr. Scott." He said, "He's very lucky to be here, sir. They'll all come here and be beaten, every one of them. They'll all come here and be beaten." That was in 1961. And he was right, by the way. He was right. They did all come to Anfield and were beaten. Still are today.
Yeah. Isn't it great? Do you reckon that Klopp? I'll go to Marios here, actually.
Yeah.
Marios, you know, Jurgen Klopp today. What kinds of philosophy? You know, you've just heard the philosophy of the Shanks. You just heard the Shanks philosophy. Do you think it's a resemblance of, to Klopp? I'm talking about. Do you think Klopp's philosophy is a resemblance to Shankly?
Yeah, I think I have said many times that football is now capitalist and all these kind of things, but inside the football team, there is a kind of socialism, like Bill Shankly used to say, that we all work for each other, with each other. We are all part of the game, and I think this is the biggest similarity with Bill Shankly. They have differences, of course. Bill Shankly used to say that football is bigger than life. Jurgen says the opposite one, that life comes first, and there are many more important things in life than football. But I think that the way Liverpool under Klopp works inside the football team is that kind of socialism, not only between the football players, but with the workers also in the club. There are relationships between players and the workers. That's astonishing, I think. And inside the book, I have referred what Shankly's the child of his child said about his grandson. Sorry, I'm tired and my English had gone. About his grandfather, they asked him one day what your grandfather would say today if he was coaching today in modern football. He would like it. He said no, but he would change his approach in order to survive. So I think that Klopp does what Shankly would do if he was alive today. So I think, there are two lots.
I agree with what George said. I think Jurgen Klopp is a reincarnation of Bill Shankly.
Exactly. Also, Grobler had said that. Yes.
You've got to remember as well, though, Klopp has to deal with a lot more complications than Shankly did. With the internet and with the agents and with the financial size of the game now.
He's got a bigger backroom staff.
He was in charge.
Can you imagine an agent going into Shankly, George?
No, not in a million years.
No.
He's got a bigger backroom staff as well, don't forget. And Brian Edley says, "Thanks, lads. Brilliant stuff. I'll buy that off you, George. That's unreal. Stay safe, lads. God bless all. And before we go, God bless the 97. You never walk alone."
Of course.
Yeah, it's been an awful last few days. I mean, again, when I was writing the book with Jeff, one of the chapters in the book's about Hillsborough, and that still cuts me up, even though I wrote it reading it today. I mean, when I was at the Shankly Hotel, I was doing an after dinner for the London branch of the supporters club, and the daughter of one of the ladies who was killed in Hillsborough was there, Ingrid Shaw, her daughter, and talking to her that night just broke me up. It was absolutely horrible.
And it's 10 years since the lovely Anne Williams passed on.
Yeah.
Because she thought only for her there would have been no anything. It would have just been left. And she fought for her son Kevin right through, only for her there'd be nothing. Yeah. And it's 10 years since she's passed. And
my son, behind the goal.
You know what I've done, Frank? I got, the two girls who got killed over there, the two sisters.
Yes. Yeah, the two X, the X.
X, yeah. Well, their mother wrote a book called One Day in April.
That's right. Yeah.
And I read that book, right? And I went out of here and I got the train to South Parkway and walked around the corners of the cemetery. And they actually went to their grave.
She was.
By reading her book.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You don't know what pain is.
Well, that night at the Shank Hotel, I was sat with Fred Sefton, and Fred was with those two girls. He went up with them on that trip.
Yeah.
And their mother should have been at that function, and she wasn't able to be there, and her seat was empty. It was so sad that whole night, to be honest.
Yeah. This is what it's all about. We never ever forget the 97 ever. Yeah. Survivors, us, and. It's just what I do nothing on that day. I do absolutely nothing on the day.
I'm so blessed. My oldest son was behind the goal when he was only 21, and he made it. He got out, and he was lucky, and I was lucky, and our family were lucky. Yeah. So many people weren't, sadly.
Yeah, of course, but 97 of them.
97.
Well, anyway,
we still haven't had justice.
Let's end on a little positive note, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And the positive note, what Leeds did last night.
They gave us confidence.
Remember the 97 wreath?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They put it down in front of the Liverpool supporters.
And the Arsenal players done it last Sunday. The Arsenal players done it.
Absolutely. And, Mikel Arteta, give him his due.
Yeah.
The badge, yes.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what you call a class touch, because and I know Tommy, and you do, George, and most probably you as well, Marius, that, at different grounds and even at Anfield, we're getting called murderers and everything, the chance, and nothing has ever been done about it, nothing at all, which makes me angry. So I want to end on a positive note, and it's from Soulboy Fran, and he says, George, did you ever play with Ted McDougall?
No, Ted McDougall played after me, but he was a prolific goal scorer. I think he went to Bournemouth or somewhere eventually.
He did, yeah.
And
didn't he go to United? Did he end up at United?
Yeah, he might have done to United as well, yeah. I didn't play with him. He was after me. I think he was more in his 70s.
Great goal scorer.
He was, yeah. Talented player. Very talented player, yeah. He was.
I used to be a talented player in Ash Street.
In the band.
Go on, George.
Non-league football. Yeah.
You know what? A ball came over and I scored the best header ever.
Oh, I bet it wasn't.
I did. It came over and I headed it. And the thing
Have you got photographic evidence?
I sent everyone the wrong way. And they said, how did you do that? I went, I don't know.
Got a head like a threatening bit.
Got a head like Liberace. Anyway, lads, will you join me next week if you're not working?
Certainly will, yeah.
Of course.
Anytime you want, Frank. Be a pleasure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You're not going away again, are you, George?
When am I? I'm going away in June. First 2 weeks in June.
Okay, then. Well, we'll have you on then.
Thanks for your company, George. Thanks for your company, Marius.
I've got my computer.
And you're all right, Frank, too.
I'll see you next week, George. Okay? Is that okay with you?
Frank, yeah.
So see
Good night, God bless.
Marius, see you next week.
Bye, Marius.
See you next week. Is that okay?
Yeah, more than okay.
Yeah.
Tommy, I'll give you the ring, Lisa. Is that okay? I want to
Yeah.
give you the ring. All right, mate.
All right, lad. Okay, mate.
Thanks
Good
a
night,
lot.
Marius.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Good
Ci
night.
vediamo.
Thank you.
As the Italians say.
Llamas.
Llama.
Yamas.